Okay, this part of the presentation looks at a static mapping. So we can see here that there are hosts within inside this network here, within inside the DMZ, which need to be seen from outside with a public address. So as we're using that, we need to map an external address to these hosts within inside the DMZ. So in this case, we create a static mapping, and the way to read the static mapping is that the link up is between these two addresses here. So this host within inside the DMZ, because this is the name of this interface, DMZ, and this is the outside interface. Then the static mapping becomes that the address from outside is 10.1.1.201, and that is then mapped to 172.10.10.2, and the subnet mask of all 255s means that it is an exact mapping. So in this way we can create a static map so that hosts can be seen from outside. And the same again, we can read this one, and that this host at 192.168.1.5 will be seen from outside as 10.1.1.202. So we have a look at the simulator, and one of the challenges that we've defined relates to static mapping. So in this case we'll set up the details of the interfaces. So to save time, we'll just set up the host, the names of the Ethernet interfaces. So we have T-side here. So for the second interface, this is our inside interface. We can set E1 up to be Pennsylvania, and then for the third interface it has a name of Wyoming, and that's set up. So just to save time, we won't bother with the other details, we'll go straight to the static mapping. So for this we go to NAT, and then we can see here that static mapping is one of the details that we have, and what we do is we add, go here, and now what we must do is we must statically map from the E1 side. So E1 in this case is Pennsylvania. We define the address it's to be seen as on the inside, 165.58.126.9 and 255.255.255, and then the mapping goes to the outside port. E0 is called T-side, and we map that to 145.140.60.9, and we can see that's correct. And we can actually have a look at the running config just to check what the static mapping has actually been. So we can see here the mapping is 145 from T-side to 65, which is for Pennsylvania, and we just check that that's the requirement. On E1, the E1 has a name of Pennsylvania, and E0 is T-side, and that's on the right subnet mask.